Hello, annyeong, bonjour, hola. It's your Archon of Wisdom here, queer, in our little rock garden spot. And we're going to have a surprise today. We're going to talk about Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein. Oh my god! Woo, 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 woo. First of all star casting. This is my unofficial review. So first of all star casting. For some reason, my facial recognition software doesn't work when it comes to Jacob Elordi. I don't know why, because I've seen several things that he's done. Obviously I know him from Euphoria. My friend also pointed out that he's in Kissing Booth, which is a niche movie. It's a niche find. If you know, you know. But my facial recognition software doesn't work with him, but he was wonderful. I feel like he brought depth to the role. I really like what he did with the character. I also forget that he's not American, ? But yeah, I love that. The costume design was brilliant. I love the idea of color representation, meaning if you listen to Guillermo talk about the way he placed the colors in the movie, the colors are all representative of something. Red is Victor's color. It's also his mother's color. It's also a color of passion. Greed is the monster's color. And he plays with like those aspects a lot. The only person I can think of that did this as well, or the show that I can think of that did this as well, is Breaking Bad. Breaking Bad has amazing work with color. But I feel like Guillermo is his interpretations always have particular design, representation, craftsmanship to it. So I feel like he really gave the costume designer an idea, and then they really ran with it and incorporated it in deep aspects of the film. For example, like Victor's color is red. The color of passion is red. His gloves are red. When he's creating, he wears his gloves, but his tie is also red. Red is also the color of his mother. So like that red is like the symbol of like Oedipus. When events happen to Elizabeth, her dress is red or like spotted with red. You know what I'm saying? So I really like that aspect. And again, that's really heavy in Breaking Bad as well. And I've seen that with Nosferatu, and I've seen a lot of people point out that there are a lot of similarities with Nosferatu and Frankenstein, of course, because of the gothic horror aspect of it, and because Guillermo is just very apt at learning these gothic horror methods and learning these advanced horror methods, like this body horror and creature horror aspects that he really embodies from studying literature and studying things. I really like the design of the creature. It reminds me of the design in Junji Ito's interpretation of Frankenstein, which is a very faithful interpretation. I'm gonna go and read that quite soon, maybe in like 2-ish weeks. I'm gonna read it for Thanksgiving-ish time, just because school is really like beating me over the head. But I do see the similarities in that, and I wouldn't be surprised if Guillermo had felt inspired by that interpretation as well, just because he is so literally studied, so studied literally. Wow. Woo, that Sundowner's got me, girl. So I know he's a huge nerd too. Guillermo is very well apt with like different cultural aspects, and he's very well cultured, especially with like Western philosophy. You see like the aspects of broader Western philosophy and evangelical philosophy in his movies. That's a huge part of the movie, and the huge part of the movie is like the weird pseudo like relationship, kind of like emotional incest going on, because that was unfortunately something that was put on women by the church and put on women by broader society at the time. So I love seeing that incorporation, because I feel like it's a really important message, and I feel like it is a message that Mary Shelley like specifically wanted. Like I feel like that's like the core point, that she would rather be with a monster than be with somebody who she considers family. Like that should be a big feminist like I just feel like Mary Shelley would love that concept, that overarching thought. So I really like seeing that. I really like the idea of Elizabeth embodying everything that like Victor is longing for, which is not just creating life, but familiar life and intelligence and softness that he envisioned in his mother, because she was unfortunately such a repressed person because of circumstance. So the creature and the iconography becomes not just men want to create life so badly, haha, they do, but like not just men want to create life so badly, but men want and crave this maternal aspect so violently that it becomes their worst desire, their worst enemy. Victor wasn't just after the coochie, if you know what I mean. He was after that real maternal love and feeling, that devotion, which he couldn't get from his creature. He couldn't get from creating life. And I think that is an interesting idea and concept as well. And I just love to see it. I love to see it. Guillermo del Toro did amazing with this movie, and I love the similarities between his other monster films. If you haven't seen his other monster films, I suggest it highly, highly, highly. Not just Pan's Labyrinth, but Shape of Water, and other works that other gothic horror works and creature fiction. I highly recommend. I love Nosferatu, like I said. Robert Eggers is making a werewolf remake that's going to be brilliant. Interview with the Vampire, the FX reproduction, I'm a huge fan of. I'm a huge fan of all Interview with the Vampire. Let me get that straight. But especially the reinterpretation by FX. I do love that. That's the Sam Reed Lestat version. If you know, you know. So that's just a quick review for you guys. Like I said, I'm kind of drowning in school right now. And I need a break. So I hope this content is okay. It's probably not going to do as well as my other content, but hey, I got to catch that algorithm somehow, baby. So I'm going to leave you with that. I love you. Be kind to animals. Love your family. Love your friends. Drink water. Stay beautiful. Stay hydrated. Stay strong. Keep fighting the man. And happy Thanksgiving, even though you guys will hear from me during that week too at some point. But happy Thanksgiving. Bye. Bye. Bye bye.